You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
Hi everybody, it's us, the Wine Ladies.
I'm Georgia.
And I'm Suzanne, and welcome to the Wine Ladies One Sip at a Time.
We are on location here at 3S's Restaurant, Seafood, Steak and Song in downtown Oakville, Ontario for what promises to be an extraordinary celebrity winemakers dinner where two winemakers will duel it out, the East and the West, for this incredible meal.
And from the West, we welcome all the way from the Okanagan, Meyer Family Vineyards. We've got Jack Meyer as well as Janice Stevens that will be duking it out with the East.
That's right. Well, we wish all the best to the West.
Absolutely.
But from the East, we have from Burning Kiln Winery, one of the newest wineries on the block in the new wine region called South Coast in Ontario. We have Scott and Patty Fitzger, and they are here to represent the East. I wonder how the East will compare to the West, Suzanne.
I'm sure they'll both be fantastic. And of course, it's not all about fun. This evening is also a fundraiser for the ArtHouse. We've got an incredible silent auction table here. This is where we're standing right now. And studies show that children should be involved with the arts, whether it's drama, painting, dancing, or even cooking. So we are going to be raising funds for these kids that really need to get into that.
Absolutely, Suzanne. I totally have to agree with that. Building one's confidence is really, really key. Now, before we progress with the evening, I would like to take just a quick moment to thank our gold sponsor this evening, Rumi Galleries out of Mississauga, specializing in 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th century furnishings, antique furnishings, and also fine art. Thank you so much to Rumi Galleries.
That's right. Thank you so very much, Charlotte, Richard, and Joseph, for supporting this wonderful cause. Well, you know what? The party's already has started, Georgia, so we've got to get in there and enjoy a little bit of the rosé.
Absolutely. To a wonderful night, to ArtHouse, raising lots of funds, and having an incredible East meets West celebrity winemakers dinner. Cheers. We're here with our folks from the East, getting ready to battle it out with Burning Kiln. The founders are Patty and Scott Fitzger, and they're residents of Oakville, by the way. Welcome, Patty and Scott.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Glad to be here.
You've only had one vintage so far, and already we are hearing wonderful accolades from critics and sommeliers out there. Maybe you can tell us a little bit something about your special methodology that you use there. Patty?
When we make some of our wines, we use a passamento style, or where we take the grapes after harvest and put them into old tobacco kilns and use the same technology that I used for the tobacco to dry the grapes, and it just increases the sugar levels and reduces the acids and integrates them all together to make wonderful wine.
Now, something very interesting is that our last course is venison, and you have paired your Pinot Noir with the venison instead of the strip room, which some people might have found a little bit it's sort of contrary to what you might expect. Why did you guys choose to do it that way?
That's a great question, actually, because you're absolutely correct. You would think traditionally you'd pair the strip room, because usually a Pinot Noir is a little lighter, but our Pinot Noir is really pretty intense because of the drying, and also the in the venison there's a cherry element, and it really should dry out the Pinot beautifully.
Yeah. The East is going to be meeting the West here this evening, but it's going to be definitely a friendly and happy competition. I can hardly wait what we see this evening.
Absolutely. Get up, put up your dukes, guys.
Hello, everybody. Well, of course, this is the East meets West Winemakers Dinner, and representing the West over here in this corner, we've got Jack Meyer and Janice Stevens from Meyer's Family Vineyards. Welcome to Toronto.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you here. And I have to tell you, the first time we were introduced to your wines, Jamie and Alex, they introduced us to your wines at the, I think it was the Cool Climate Chardonnay, and everybody was raving, go over to that table, go over to that table. Meyer Family Vineyards have an amazing Chardonnay. So we're thrilled that you guys were able to join us here. So maybe you can share with everybody a little bit about Meyer Family Vineyards, how you got started, and where you're located in the Okanagan.
Okay, well, we started in 2006. We decided, knowing nothing about the wine business, that we better start small. So we found a small little vineyard, only 3 acres, that was Chardonnay, mature vines, about 14 years old. And we started from there in 2006. Well, not knowing anything about the wine, our philosophy was to basically hire people that did know something about wine. So,
good strategy.
Well, let's put it this way: we knew lots about wine,
we know
but
lots
not
about drinking wine.
Oh, okay.
But not about the business of wine.
Yeah.
No, we
Good
had.
clarification.
I always say we had lots of experience. How we started in the business was from a long line of drinking great
Okay.
wine. So that's yes.
Patty and Scott, they put up their dukes at the end of the interview, so let's see how the West does. Ready?
All right.
Let's go.
Bring it on.
Putting your dukes up too? Yeah, why not? I'm on the Western team now.
So we'd like to introduce now, we had mentioned earlier that you were going to have a chance to hear a little bit more about ArtHouse, which is the charitable organization that the event is being held for tonight. And we have with us the founder and the artistic director, Don Pangman, and he's going to tell you a little bit about ArtHouse and what it's doing for the children out there. Don?
What started as an idea about 2 years ago to bring music to young children, particularly children who I suggest are vulnerable, and they could be children without financial means, they could be children with financial means. It's just that the arts has been ignored in their life. And so when I look at children, I look at children from all socioeconomic levels. And we have been successful because we have provided more than just music. It started out as music, it's become art, it's become drama, it's become theater arts, performance, dance, and most recently it's become ethnic cooking. Now, ethnic cooking is an art, just like cooking's an art. So we have this little art house that started with about 20 kids, now serving over 200 children between the ages of 7 and 11 in Oakville. And we are now in 7 locations throughout Oakville. The philosophy is to take the programs to the pockets of the community, not ask the community to come to one location.
All right, so to help raise some money this evening for the Art House, we have an incredible silent auction table, as you've all seen, with over 50 fantastic items, including a musical guitar worth about $850. We've got Blue Hill Dance Studio lessons. You can salsa, learn the tango.
Thank you, everybody. And we're going to be asking the winemakers to come up in just a couple of moments to talk about the next course. This is a beautiful and inspirational space that we are sitting in here right now. It is an art gallery that specializes in fine art and 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th century antique furnishings. It is Rumi Gallery, located in Mississauga, and Suzanne, it is unbelievable here.
And I have to say that Rumi Galleries is our gold sponsor for our East Meets West Celebrity Winemakers Dinner. We are thrilled to be sitting here with Joseph Rumi, the Director of Fine Art of the Gallery. Tell us a little bit about the art gallery itself. Like, do you have different kinds of exhibits that go on, and how often do they change if people want to come and visit?
We do. We have solo shows for our artists. This year we actually have one for Nicholas Malcolm, which is coming up on the 29th of September. We have another one for Sonia Haidas. So in between having solo shows for different artists, we also have special events. And then it's pretty much just the day-to-day. You know, we have collectors who come in. A particular collector called us today after coming in last week and decided to purchase a work, which is fantastic.
I think we're going to talk about that piece a little later on in the show.
Okay. And it's actually a pre-sale before Art Toronto, which is fabulous. I mean, you can't get better than that. So.
And I think he got in there just before the prices were going to go up too.
He did. He was very, very lucky. It was pretty much by a hair.
Made $1,000 or two. And welcome everybody to the East Meets West Celebrity Winemakers Dinner. We are thrilled you're all here. Welcome everybody.
Thank you so much to
our venue, 3S's Restaurant, with the fabulous Laura over there, who's incredible, and her entire culinary team and singing and waitering team here as well. Thank you, Laura, for welcoming us into the 3S's Restaurant. So Jack Meyer,
From the West, he's going to get up and tell us a little bit about the winery and some of the wine that you've already enjoyed, and the first course and the wine that we're going to be enjoying in just a few moments.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's a real honor to be here. It's a real surprise to be called a celebrity. With the first course here today, we're going to have our everyday drinking Pinot. The idea of this was to make it something that is going to be approachable right away. It's a little more fruit to it, a little more sugar to it, and it goes very, very well with foods, and we put it at a very approachable price as well. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you again for having us here.
Thank you, Jack. And what about the East now, right?
Okay,
we got to get Patty up here.
Absolutely, we got to get Patty
Beautiful
up here.
Patty, all right.
So the first one that you have on the table right now is actually an Interven bronze medal winner, we just heard, and this one is called the Strip Room. So this is a Merlot Cab blend. It's 60% kiln-dried Merlot, blended with some fresh Cab Franc.
You know how I feel. Blossom on a tree. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
In our case, we go with a much more traditional method, which is 100% French oak barrels over a certain period of time, and we let the wine sort of go through a natural process. We don't try and manipulate it in any different way. It's whatever is going to happen, if it's going to go through a secondary fermentation or not. And so that's it. So you end up with a nice, fresh, crisp, clean kind of a Chardonnay, and that's our sort of objective.
And exactly the same with us too. Having said that, this Kiermans Chard that you're tasting tonight is our Vintner's Reserve Chard. So this is the best of our Chardonnay grapes that have gone into this wine. This wine went into French oak casks, which is similar to the size of 7 barrels in one. So your oak exposure is actually less than putting it into individual oak barrels. But the same thing, French oak cask, all new oak, so it's been exposed to the same sort of thing. And having tasted that, they are quite similar, but yet very different as well.
This is again one of our single vineyard Pinot Noirs. This is we call our Central Okanagan. It was sourced grapes from up near Kelowna, and the interesting thing about this is the amount of tannins in it. This has been open for 3 hours now since we got here. We asked them to open it ahead of time, but you'll get just a huge amount of fruit in there. It's very, very big for a Pinot. But you'll get a lot of tannins. Those tannins will soften in time, but this is a wine that'll develop and evolve for the next 10 to 15 years. We're really proud of this one.
This Pinot Noir is 100% kiln-dried, so it intensifies those wonderful cherry flavors and everything that are typical for a Pinot Noir. But this one has just been Pinot on steroids, basically. Just brings it all to the table. This one, like Jack was saying, is one that will be better down the road. It will age very nicely, as will his. They're quite similar, but you can definitely taste the Appassimento style, the kiln drying that went into the burning kiln Pinot for this one.
Okay, well, you know what? Another fantastic event. We have had an incredible night. And Doug, I know you're the sous chef here, Doug Sabine.
Right.
We couldn't get the chef and all the crew to come out here, but you were brave enough to come out here tonight. What an incredible menu you guys put together.
Thank you so much.
It must have been insane in that kitchen.
Yeah, it was hot back there tonight, but you know, we have a really good team and everything came out nice and smooth, so we were very happy.
Well, you know, the food was amazing. I especially loved this dessert. This was unbelievable. Surprise, surprise. Don't forget to watch the wine, ladies. One sip at a time. Good night, everybody.